A moment of silence. Jeff, would you lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now please remain standing for a brief moment of silence. Thank you. Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Steelvogel? Here. Commissioner Vogler?
Here.
Commissioner Boyd?
We have quorum. I will note we're being live streamed right now. It's being sent out to our YouTube channel for public consumption. We're also being recorded internally for our purposes in compiling the minutes. And to that end, if any individual here has business before the board today, we ask that they approach the bench and speak into that microphone there so that we pick it up. Row officer reports and comments. Looking out in the audience today, the only row officer representative I see is Acting Controller Prestifine. Dave, do you have anything for us above and beyond what's already on the agenda?
I do not.
Great. Public comments. Any member of the public wishing to make comment? Great. Fiscal and contractual. We have no repository properties up today. We have no advertising for bids or proposals. We do have receipt of bids and proposals for the county's data infrastructure upgrade project. These bids will be opened and tabled until at minimum November 30th. But to that end, I'll ask the acting controller to come up, open up those bids, see what we're working with. For context, this project involves rewiring the entire county complex, the old government building, as well as the APO building. I know our IT director, Bill Bornero, has been instrumental in putting this all together, and we thank you for your efforts, Bill, in doing it. I know it was a lot of work to get to this point. We have a lot of work to go, and you're doing a good job.
Thank you.
Okay, I've received 3 bids. The first one is from Rudela Mechanical Incorporated in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Base bid is $301,000. Next one is from Horizon Information Services in Glenshaw, Pennsylvania. Base bid $291,300. Final one, I'm not sure who it's from yet. It is from D'Agostino Electronic Services in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And the base bid is $327,000.
All right. Like I said, I expect this to be a hell of a lot worse than that. So I'm very happy with those results. Any questions or comments from my colleagues before I take a motion to table? Refer to the appropriate administrative officials. I'll take that motion.
So moved.
Second. The motion is second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none. Question motion. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Bids are tabled and referred to whoever the hell we refer to. Thank you. I'm assuming both of you are here for that project.
I am.
No.
Yeah, he's not.
Okay.
So congrats. I'm glad the bids were favorable for you.
Thank you for coming.
All right, guys. Hey, Jeff.
I didn't
how
even
you
see
doing,
when I
man?
sat down.
Yeah.
How you?
We're technical time. Okay.
Yeah, no, I was letting you do.
All right, up next, we have 2 warrant registers, one from November 10, one from November 12. I'll give my colleagues a minute to check those over.
Doing well.
Take a motion to accept and file.
I did have an opportunity to review them, so I will make that motion.
Second. Motion second, any further discussion, hearing none, question on the motion, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign, motion carries. Next, we have approval of minutes from Tuesday, November 9th, 2021. Again, I'll take a motion, or I'll let my colleague minutes check those over and then take a motion to approve the minutes and make any necessary changes.
So moved.
Second, the motion is second, any further discussion, hearing none, question on the motion. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign, motion carries. We have no presentation of written communications today. Staff reports, is there any member of staff here who make a report button, we only put it on the agenda? You're seeing none. Commissioner reports and comments. Looks like I'm on deck first today. Yesterday, I was invited and had the pleasure to attend a meeting of the Butler County Growth Collaborative, which took place in their courthouse, and which occurs monthly. The organizations involved in that collaborative are their county planning / economic development department. They actually do that in-house, both of those items. Their countywide development corporation, which effectively serves as their project manager. It's a nonprofit. Butler County Community College was there. I finally had the opportunity to meet Nick Newpower, which was a pleasure. We're actually going to go grab lunch here in a month. Butler County Chamber of Commerce, the Butler County Redevelopment Authority and Housing Authority, which were represented by the same executive director, which I thought was interesting. Their tourist promotion agency, the counterpart to Janet Filatico was over there with them. And then not present, but part of that initiative was their transit authority. It was actually very interesting to watch the level of collaboration with those agencies. They were interacting very well, very positively, and they're actually pushing projects forward. In fact, right now in Butler, specifically, they're running roughly 50 projects, ranging from brownfield remediation to site preparation to infrastructure improvement. The EPA was there. They were talking about some improvements that they were looking to make to downtown Butler. I mean, it was just very, very fascinating to watch. And there was a focus on solving real problems, and they've actually generated some very real solutions from the workings of that group. And I'll just give you a couple examples. So in 2018, 19, and 20, that group was awarded 6 RACP grants for $5.75 million. In 2020, they were awarded $25 million in federal build grant money for improvements to the 228 corridor. They're currently developing at least 4 business parks through their CDC. They had over 30 participants in leadership. Butler County, by comparison, Lawrence County had about 6. And I thought this was interesting because this is something that we've talked about. When COVID hit, one of the things that they did was they actually brought an organization in to have seminars on how to optimize takeout for their different restaurants, how to transition their restaurants to more of a takeout setting. And so I just thought that was an interesting example of that group getting together, identifying a problem, and working to come up with a solution. By comparison, our economic development systems in Lawrence County, unfortunately, continue to lag behind, and at least until this point are largely uncoordinated. We're really not running projects. We rarely apply for large-scale economic development funding, and it's starting to show, and it has shown for a long time. Our core communities continue to decline. The city of Newcastle, the borough of New Wilmington. Elwood's doing all right, but it's not really a result of any county organization. They've got some really good, really talented people down there pushing forward their own projects. We're continuing to lose population, and we're largely stuck in a status quo position. By comparison, again, you look around the different communities. Sharon's coming back. They've experienced a renaissance in their downtown and are seeing significant levels of reinvestment. Beaver is booming with nearly every storefront filled. I was just down there the other day. We were visiting CCBC, and I drove through the town of Beaver. Every storefront filled. They've got restaurants. They've got people walking out on the sidewalks. It's a dynamic area. Places like Franklin and Meadville are also doubling down on economic development. I had the opportunity a couple of weeks ago to go up to Meadville, where their college and their town are actually actively collaborating on economic development activities, which was fascinating to see. It's just very clear that our systems just aren't working to the degree that they should. In fact, of the 3 large-scale county projects currently being run in Lawrence County, 2 of those 3 are either being directly run out of or originated in the office of the commissioners. Speaking to municipal representatives, which I did last week, who represent about 45% of the county's population, none have any faith in the current path of county economic development. To that end, it's time to rethink how we structure economic development systems in Lawrence County. I've recently reached out to a number of regional economic development institutions, from Pittsburgh's Urban Redevelopment Authority to the SPC. I'm working on getting meetings set up with Progress Fund in Westmoreland County, as well as a number of other regional organizations, to try and figure out exactly why other regions are just doing so much better than we are when it comes to promoting their local economies. Internally, I met with LCAP yesterday, and I'm meeting today with redevelopment, transit, tourism, and housing, just to see if they're open to a little bit higher level of collaboration. I'm looking forward to talking to those individuals. But it's time that we really reassess the effectiveness of those organizations. Change is hard. Change is tough. It requires decisions that might make people unhappy or uncomfortable. But if we're going to rebuild Lawrence County, at this point, it's very clear that change is necessary. I just wanted to add those comments. I was very, very enthused to see Butler's level of collaboration. There's no reason we can't do it here. Those are my comments today. Dan, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have no comments this morning.
Loretta, you're on deck.
Neither do I. We're within our 15 minutes, let's roll.
We're rolling. New business. First on deck, we have Public Safety, Director Parrish. Resolution for discussion, possible approval of an agreement with Mid-American Energy Services LLC for a retail electricity agreement. Jeff, how you doing today?
Good morning, I'm fine, how's everybody?
What we got going on?
This is just a resolution to enter an agreement, like I said, with Mid-American Energy Services, our contractor, our other, we had a 12-month, we did it last year. Eric Ryan does all the configurations and computations and everything else, and they do it for us every year, keeping track of everything, and I know they do it for the county also. Mid-American was the one that came in the cheapest, even a month ago, and we were waiting because the prices change every day. As you know, we were looking at it, of course, we're gonna have an increase, but this was their recommendation, which was sent to Joe and also to Jason for their review on it to make sure it was okay. We had to wait till yesterday in order to get it because, like I said, the prices changed. So it fluctuated a little bit, but we're looking at least like everybody knows, like a 25% increase. But that's the nature of the business right now. We wait any longer, it's going to keep going up. So this would be a 36-month. And again, Mid-American is also what the county utilizes here too for the building. So our recommendation is we could do the resolution and get it signed back to them as soon as possible to get set up, and it'll take effect starting first of the year.
Questions, comments?
So we go through Eric Ryan for that. They handle that. We have a contracted service with them. I thought we were going to get away from that.
We were still under contract.
With them? Okay, all right. And how do we know who they get bids from? They do the legwork
They do
for
the
us?
legwork, yes, and they sent the spreadsheet out that there was only, I think, 3 or 4 energy suppliers that responded to them. I mean, short of going back to Penn Power, if we go back to Penn Power, there's going to be a lot bigger increase there by default if we don't select somebody. But it's going to be a huge increase if we don't select somebody.
Just clarification.
We'd actually got more results last year than whenever we did it before. But now there was only 3 or 4 that submitted bids to that.
Well, with as many pictures as I've seen with Richard, with Reggie Kilowatt over the last week, don't tell him we're moving away from Penn Power.
Penn Power still gets their cut. You know?
Oh, I know.
Always, yeah.
Vanessa, what's the number?
306.
306, thank you. On that, then I'll take a motion to approve resolution 2021-306.
So moved.
Second, the motion is second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, question on the motion, Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thanks, Jeff.
All right, thank you. Just back up the bill. Thank you.
Up next, resolution 2021-306. I really don't foresee an issue with this one, or 307.
Right.
I really don't foresee an issue with this one. This is appointing Cindy Moravito of Elwood City as an alternate delegate to the Lawrence County Planning Commission with a term to expire December 31, 2025. Cindy's a phenomenal individual, community leader down in Elwood. She worked for Senator Vogel's office for a number of years. Did an exceptional job in that position. She has frequently attended Lawrence County Planning Commission meetings in the past. What this does is, in instances where a quorum is not able to be present of the Planning Commission, Cindy would be able to step in at that point to allow that commission to make quorum and take action on whatever voting items might be for it that day. Questions, comments on this? Hearing none, we'll take a motion to approve resolution 2021-307.
So moved.
Second, the motion is second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Resolution 2021-308. This is a service agreement with Avanco International, located at 12685 Wiltonshire Drive, Clifton, Virginia, to perform certain services as it relates to children and youth subject to regulations established by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Is that why?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. What do we have?
Well, I'm Mike Griff with a new contract.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good to meet you.
Yeah. I got
I wondered what the hell. I didn't know if you were with the company or what was going on.
Sometimes I want.
And you know, I must have known you were coming in today because I was thinking to myself, I have to call John and see what other contracts are being reviewed because we got a nice review from the first couple that you had already done into the position, so.
Right, this is just a breakdown. And we use this caps in our agency, but 56 counties in Pennsylvania currently use over 10,000 users. I broke down the contract year from 7/1 of 21 to 22, what the provider agreement was, the upgrade cost, the CWIP, and the total cost. It's a little less than what it was last year. And then there's a $10,000 consultant cost that's never been used, but it's in there in case we need it. If we want seminars, training, maybe some development that we want, and specifically to Lawrence County, we could use that. So I'm here to have the resolution signed.
This is, like you said, we've used this in the past.
Yeah,
This is pretty much a mundane, this is just continuity of operations, effectively. Questions, comments from my colleagues? We'll take a motion to approve resolution 2021-308.
So moved.
Second, the motion is second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Thank you, Mike, for coming. That's a good.
Oh, you're welcome.
Good to put a face to a name.
Yeah.
Up next, this is actually a really positive thing. I'll make this 309. When I was doing budget projections for the 2021 budget, I anticipated COVID having a higher hit on our tourism than it actually ended up having. And so to that end, I purposely deflated